This is Seth Beamer, and you're listening to the Pivot Points podcast. Pivot Points dissects the lives of artists at their most crucial intersections, investigating the trials of this insane career and how they are overcome. These are the stories of the crossroads that, for better or worse, shape us all into the people, friends, and musicians we're meant to be. Pivot Points is brought to you by Discovr Radio. If you're an artist looking to get your music onto a broader stage, check out Discovr in the show notes. On today's episode, we're welcoming back a familiar voice, Josh Scheer. You might remember him from a previous episode as the frontman of Pandas People, where he built a name on infectious melodies and high-energy songwriting. But today, he's here in a new light. Josh is stepping into his own as a solo artist under the name Josh Scheer, and it feels like the start of a whole new chapter. We get into what sparked the shift, how his creative process has evolved, and what it looks like to take everything he's learned from the band world and channel it into something more personal. It's always interesting to hear where artists go next, and this feels like a real pivot point. So let's catch up, talk about what's changed, and hear about what Josh is building. Let's get into it. What's up, dude?
Heck of an intro.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I did you right there.
Yeah, man.
It's good to have you back, man. Thanks for being on the pod.
Yeah.
The last time you were on, it was, I think, man, probably like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
And at that point, not only Pandas People was in full swing, and I was playing with you at that time, and Pivot Points had kind of just started, like the podcast had just started. We were both in very different places in life. Talk to me about where you're at right now, and we'll kind of backtrack a little bit. But
gosh,
today, where is Josh Scheer? What's he doing? What's he up to musically?
Yeah, I mean, the last few years have been pretty crazy. I kind of, shifted into, like you said, a little bit more of a solo project. Pandas is still doing its thing.
Yeah.
But we're, as far as the writing is concerned, and a lot of the shows and stuff are kind of picked up a lot of acoustic gigs and things to fill the weekends. So that's kind of the main thing, and then coupling that with starting my own business, and the main thing with the project, for it being a solo project, the main thing was having that flexibility to be able to kind of navigate around owning a business. So I think that was really the biggest trigger for it.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's the flexibility isn't an option, like it's mandatory.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of the biggest move into kind of being solo.
Would you say then one of the biggest challenges of being in a band or having the band entity is having the flexibility with multiple people and getting everyone to show up in different
absolutely
ways?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of know with Pandas, it a lot of people, we got older, and a lot of people are settling down, having kids, and as you get older, you just that flexibility shrinks,
Yeah.
And that's what I was finding with Pandas, but I was really wanting to get out and play more often, every week, every weekend, several times a week even. And that was hard to do, hard to make that work on a large scale like that.
Yeah.
So I really just I'd kind of been playing out a little bit, like at country clubs and hotels and things, aside from Pandas at times, but I just went kind of all in and started reaching out to people and around the Denver market, and it ended up being kind of my full-time income.
The solo act? Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
To pay the bills, and that was kind of one of those things that I always wanted to have, that, be able to try that, like try being a full-time artist, a full-time musician, and have that actually pay the bills and see what that was like. There's pros and cons to it, right? You have to sacrifice some gigs. Like they're not all going to be, for me, there's not every gig I looked forward to,
Sure. Yeah.
This work. But there were a lot of gigs that I did, and there were a lot of times where I was just like, man, this is incredible. There was no complaints, right? I mean, like you can't for me, I couldn't sit there and honestly tell myself, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting here playing a guitar.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm getting paid to do it.
Yeah. Getting to do something fun.
Right. Like cause I grew up doing construction and cell tower work technically. And that's, sweating and working 12-hour, 15-hour days and 70-hour weeks and stuff, then I feel like you can complain a little bit.
Yeah.
So like coming from that background into like, you know, sitting there at a country club playing for 4 hours and even if it's all covers and, you know, getting, you know, breaks whenever you want them and food and drinks and stuff, and people are nice and they're, you know, that to me, I was like, yeah, it can be tough and it can be kind of boring, but I'm just happy to be doing it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to get into with you, there's a question coming into this that really came to mind is, and this kind of leads into it, is like you seem to enjoy the solo cover gigs where you get to just, you know, enjoy being there with people and playing songs, and really you're just, whether the night's about you or not, it's really not about you. It's more about the night. You enjoy that. And so, but coming from Pandas has played, I'm saying some big freaking shows, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's been some huge events in that band's career and millions of streams. How do you go from that to then this, you know, playing for a few people and having a fun night? I mean, a lot of musicians, and I could say for myself included, that can be hard. Yeah. You know?
And I actually, like, it's funny you say that, because like I remember a very specific kind of pivot point that like led me to be like, yeah, this might be it. Like, I mean, not that it's it, but like this might be a time for me to kind of move into something a little bit more flexible. It was I think it was that Gothic show in 2022. That would have been right before you were playing with us.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
One of those things, like I pushed myself really, really hard for months leading up to that show.
Oh,
like
okay.
on everything. And, you know, we were, you know, we didn't have management or anything like that. So it was, that was a large scale gig. Like, you know, dealing with AEG and really having to like that pressure of like, you gotta make get some people in the door. You know,
sell
like,
some freaking tickets.
Like that's on your shoulders 100%. And I felt like, you know, just really like for 3 months straight, I think I was really stressed. I was just overly stressed about it, probably too much. And I don't know. I think that was kind of, after that, I was just kind of like, man, that was a lot of work behind the scenes. Like, as much as like as exciting as that hour or two is on stage and being able to do that, I'm like, man, if we continue to go that direction, I got to get some help. I got to get a team, you know. And so do I want to keep going that direction and get, you know, and pursue the band thing and build a team and stuff the full time, or should I just kind of back off and have some flexibility and play these cover gigs? And honestly, like the playing the covers and stuff, that I felt like it really helped me to kind of define my own sound.
Cool.
A lot of it, because, you know, I did not go the route of playing, you know, all the Elton Johns and the John Denver stuff. And I mean, I would take those on as requests, but I had a kind of a playlist of songs that I liked personally, and would bring them to the table, and people loved it. So it was a kind of a good way for me to really define, you know, playing songs that I like and artists that I like is a good way for me to kind of define what is it that I'm going for personally. And then people, you know, once they kind of hear you start to play, they're like, okay, I understand his wheelhouse. And so you get people starting to come up and suggest covers of songs that maybe you haven't heard before.
Yep.
And then you listen to it and you try it and you're like, oh, this is great. And then you discover new artists and you're adding that to the rotation. So it helped me to really kind of define who, you know, the direction I wanted to go personally.
And what is that direction?
On a solo.
Yeah. What is that direction, and how does it differ from Pandas? Because was there ever a moment in your Pandas and People, if we're being honest, is you, right? It's a band, but at its core, as the ownership, it's you.
Yeah.
Was there ever a consideration that maybe you would just take Pandas in a new direction? But why the shift? What's the difference between Pandas and the difference between that and Josh Scheer music? I felt that the direction that I wanted to go from a solo project would be a little too far off for Pandas.
And I love what Pandas is at. I love the sound of Pandas, and I think they've, after being together for, it's been, 15 years almost, I think. 12, 13 years. Mm-hmm. I think we've really defined that sound, and I love where it's at.
Sure.
And I want to continue to write with Pandas and stuff. So, I didn't want to kind of blow it off course. And on a solo project level, I think that I'm definitely wanting to go a little bit more country, and just because I want to really I felt like I really wanted to kind of fall back on some of those memories and stuff I had growing up. And I didn't feel like it would really resonate with the Panda listener, if that makes sense.
Just more personal material, you mean?
Yeah, like just growing up on a farm and a ranch and stuff, and it's hard to sometimes it feels like it can be kind of hard to incorporate that into, folk rock, pop, whatever you want to call alternative music. Sure. And I found myself kind of regurgitating a little bit in songwriting with Pandas. So I when I would sit down with a guitar, it would always be, I was always like, why does it always come out to be it sounds like a country song?
You just can't help it.
And I'm like, I always felt like I was kind of pushing myself to not make it country with Pandas. Okay. Not make it sound country.
Yeah.
And so that, I wanted the ability to just kind of let it flow naturally. And so, and that was, nice. I guess, more of the solo stuff.
Totally. Yeah. What's the goals with the new solo project then? Are you just wanting to stick to these, smaller solo gigs, the 4-hour country clubs, or are you trying to tour and take over the world? Where's the spectrum? What are you trying to do here?
I definitely want to get it completely out and record a full album and start playing, large venues. And again, with the solo stuff, first I got to find a band.
Yeah.
So, you've been working on that a little bit back home and reaching out to some venues, but really the biggest goal for the solo stuff is to tour. That was a huge part of all of this too, was to be able, to grab a guitar and go.
Do you like touring?
Yeah. I love it. And I really wanted to get on the road and go down and tour some other states, and whether that's with a band or not,
Yeah.
And that, I think that having that solo project gives you that ability.
I was going to say, that's kind of the nice thing of doing the solo thing versus the band is you don't have to have everyone with you to go play a show or go tour. It's you could just go.
Yeah. Pandas, we did a couple runs, and through Idaho and Utah and Montana and stuff, and some of those closer states.
Yep.
But even that was really difficult for everybody to take time off work and coordinate that.
Sure.
With the larger venues. So it's really the freedom of being able to just grab a guitar, hook onto the Airstream and literally just be out for months.
Yeah.
And maybe not even have shows lined up.
Hook onto the Airstream. For all the listeners, Josh just got an Airstream. So
that was part of totally business asset tax write-off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, this is for tour. Okay. Government. Yeah.
So that was part of the thing was having that freedom to maybe I don't even book a route. Maybe it's just going down to a market that I think could work for me.
Yeah. Experimenting
with some of the venues, going and shaking some hands and playing some open mics or something like that. And getting kind of a feel for it. That would just be impossible to do with a band. It'd be expensive. Totally. It'd be really difficult. So,
and it is tough for the older we get, man. People have priorities, and being in a van with your buds is not the priority anymore.
I mean, everyone, even when we did tour with Pandas, it was always everyone was in the van on their, Wi-Fi or on their hotspot trying to work while we're driving and working remote and stuff.
Yep.
Which was cool. I mean, it was cool that we were able to make that work, but it is really tough to try to work on the road.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And try to play shows and while you're doing that.
And how do you manage that as a solo artist? Because I know you also own a business, and how do you manage, I mean, for all the young artists out there who think, man, you guys are older, you're still playing music, you're doing it, you're getting to tour, you're getting to, you just came to Nashville to record. Those are things that we could only dream of as kids.
Right.
But to look at the reality of what that looks like, you also own a business and you make money in other ways. And how do you manage that? Where's the line there?
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, it's a newer business. So, like was a lot of, I had to really take time off from playing a lot of shows for several months to really get it up and going. And that was kind of just a sacrifice I had to make. And they always seem to be kind of butting heads with each other, the music and the business and the side of things, and making the money and supporting myself through the business, and then also like wanting to play shows. But I mean, it's difficult. I'll tell you, it's really difficult. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's going to take a few years to be able to build a team around where it's not so reliant on me, and
that would be the key, probably.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. And luckily, I mean, it's an adventure that doesn't require me being in Colorado, which is great, because there's it feels like there's a lot of businesses that are more hands-on, and with this, I'm able to just kind of pick up and go and manage from the road, and still working on that part of things, I think. But
sure, especially in the company's infancy, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to ask you. You've been doing this a long time, man. You've been doing this like music, and you've seen all kinds of changes in how to promote your music, how to get listeners, how to promote yourself. How has that changed through the years? Where did it start? What were you doing when you first started making music to promote yourself? And what are you doing now?
What was I doing before to promote myself?
Just when you started your first project. Was your first musical project Pandas and People, by the way?
No, I mean, I technically had a rock band first.
What was the rock band? Hold on.
In college, my very first band was in 2010, and we started a rock band called 5 Day Rhetoric, is what it was called.
Hell yeah.
And we were just hard rock. That was it.
Oh, okay.
And we played for a few years, and then that kind of led into Pandas. But
okay.
Yeah.
Were you like a big part of that band? Was it an equal parts band?
Yeah. It
okay.
was. It was just all of us kind of getting together on the weekend and jamming Black Sabbath and stuff.
Nice.
And just, for a couple years, it was only that.
Okay.
And we're finally like, we should try to play a show. This could be fun.
Yeah.
And then we did, and we put out an album, and that was that.
Is it on Spotify? Can we listen to it?
I think it is. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
5 Day Rhetoric, guys. Go check it out. That's awesome.
That's the OG music. Yeah.
So back then, were you even thinking about promoting your music, or you were just like, let's just play shows?
I don't know. I don't know if that band got to that stage of like wanting to promote music and stuff. We were definitely just a bunch of kids getting together and jamming.
Sure.
And wanting to play shows.
Cool. But then come to Pandas.
Yes.
Now Pandas, obviously, because we're still in motion today, but that was a serious project from the get, it seems.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Where did the promotion come in on that one? Like, I mean, talk to me about the story about how did that band get its start?
Yeah. I mean, so the guitar player Johnny Day and I, from 5 Day Rhetoric, we
I didn't know he was in there.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And actually the drummer's living out here in Nashville now too. And I think the bass player's in Oklahoma. Everyone kind of just went their own direction, but,
cool.
But yeah, the both Johnny and Timmy, the drummer, are both still in music and doing their thing, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we kind of formed Pandas together, after really just Johnny and I sat down and wrote a song that again, it didn't feel like it would fit in 5 Day Rhetoric whatsoever.
Okay.
It was, it was On My Way was our first tune, and we sat down and wrote that, and we're like, well, should we put this out as 5 Day Rhetoric, or should we just kind of put it out as a single under a new name, and decided to do that. And we entered it into that Hometown for the Holidays.
Yeah. Talk to me about what that is for the listener's sake. What is that?
Hometown for the Holidays is like a local competition with KTCL, a radio station out of Denver. And they always, they've always, like Nerf and Alf and all those guys over there, and Steve Burrell, I mean, they've always been super supportive of the local scene, and this competition gets, bands a good, kind of direction into getting some listeners and getting some actual, fans from that local market. So we entered that On My Way into that, and it got into the top, the top 10. I mean, you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
And so you, with that, you get some radio play, and at that point we were like, well, we weren't not expecting anything like that. We didn't even have a name yet. So we threw a name together, Pandas People, and I don't think we even had an Instagram or anything like that. I think we started a Facebook.
Yeah.
And then if you get into the top 3, then you're supposed to play a show, right?
Totally.
So we had one song, and then a bunch of hard rock songs.
Oh man.
So we're like, well, so now what? And so
you made the top 3.
Yeah, we made the top 3.
Don't have any songs except for this one song.
And then we had to have, I think, a 30-minute set. So we sat down and pumped out 5 more songs, and you pumped out 5 more. You didn't play the rock stuff. You were like, no, we need new material. No, yeah, we were like, okay, we gotta make this a fresh start.
Okay.
So we did. Yeah, we wrote 4 more songs that couple weeks that we were on the radio.
Wow.
And leading up to that top 3 show, and got up there, and it was the most nerve-wracking show of my entire life, for sure. It was like,
especially as the singer.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We threw a band together. It was basically a bunch of old friends and stuff. And we're like, can you play this show with me?
Yeah.
And it was probably the worst show we've ever played too.
But it's okay because
it's like the worst show of my life.
It's okay because it launched your career,
it
right?
Did. Yeah. It helped to, obviously it helped to like establish what Pandas was in the market, and yeah, our sound really. I mean, we defined that sound, in those 2 weeks, and I've been going with it since.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So would you say that it seemed radio was a big part of your launch back then and your promotion?
Definitely. Oh yeah.
Do you find that to be the case today? Do you see yourself trying for radio, or where does radio have a place today? Quick pause here. If you're an artist listening to this and thinking about how you can get your music in front of more people, I want to talk to you about Discovr Radio. Discovr is a platform built to help independent artists get onto mainstream radio. It's a real opportunity to move beyond just socials and playlisting and put your songs in a space where people are actively listening. If you're serious about growing your audience and seeing where your music can go, then check out discoverradio.com. That's Discover without the E, radio.com. All right. Let's get back into it.
I think what I'm really after with the solo project is really just writing songs that I don't know, that I've had kind of, a lot of them I've had written for years. And they didn't fit in that Panda sound.
Yeah.
Or 5 Day Rhetoric for that. And just kind of getting music out there, like not overthinking it,
Yeah.
and just getting stuff out there. Like with Pandas, it always felt like it was such a process from start to finish to really like perfect a song.
Yeah.
It had to be perfect, it had to be recorded professionally, and it had to be, every line had to be perfect, and it had to fit right into that kind of Panda sound. With this, I'm just, I feel like it's the freedom of just putting out a song, and whether it's like, whether it fits in any specific genre or whatever, I don't think it needs to be, radio ready or overproduced or anything. I just want to get it out. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's a good way to put it too. Cause like, what does radio ready even mean these days?
Oh man.
Right. We just made a song in my living room, and it's radio ready, so to speak, it's like, what does that even mean these days? So,
right. Yeah. I mean, as a radio, kind of as more of a radio catered band, you always are thinking in the back of your mind when you're writing too, like what's maybe this DJ or this station gonna want to hear, and with this, it's really freeing to not have to worry about that.
That's kind of like put it.
Yeah. You're just kind of like, you're writing. I just feel like I'm writing more from just what I've been through and my experiences and just kind of getting it out there to the world. So,
totally.
Yeah.
Those radio DJs or those stations that you used to write for before, they were kind of the gatekeepers.
Right. Yeah.
Who would you say are the gatekeepers now?
Do we have venues, them? Right? Like, I mean, I think that the venues are really the talent buyers, I think, and for the solo project, I think it's more the talent buyers. Yeah.
I see that.
And I think a lot of the talent buyers are they've got kind of a finger on what their crowd wants to hear. Okay. And so, it's a little different.
Yeah. Especially maybe between Colorado and Nashville and how those venues differ too. And styles of music. And you said you were just at a writer's round last night.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was fun. I'm trying to really like get into the Nashville scene and experience it.
Do you feel like when you go to those, I'll share this personal experience.
Yeah.
I felt so nervous coming to Nashville and thought there's, all these amazing people here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where do I fit in? And then I went to a writer's round or an open mic or two and I was like, oh, I'm going to be okay.
Well, what really got me the first time I came to Nashville was just how like, not everyone has to be A+ musician, A+ songwriter. They're really like this whole scene here feels so welcoming to everybody from all places. I noticed that right off the bat. Like, hey man, we're here to do the same thing. We're here to write music, and we love what we're doing. And you've got your own sound. Who am I to judge it? And we're gonna kind of do this together. Yeah. So I love that about the Nashville scene. Yeah. And there's not this. Other markets can seem a little bit, cliquey at times, right? Like
totally. I tell everyone like who doesn't live here, I'm like, it's cool that you can just ask someone, you want to write, you want to get together and write. It doesn't matter like where they're at in their careers, but most people are like, like, let's just get together. Yeah. Like whatever. Like there's no egos. There are, but like I haven't found it yet, I guess, not any big egos. So it's been really refreshing to have that kind of that spirit in Nashville. Yeah.
It's like, come one, come all. And like, I think last night they had a board of like 20 songwriters, and groups of 4 rounds of writers rounds. And, I just thought it was really cool. Like it was clearly like someone put this together and then someone invited somebody else and so on and so forth.
And snowballs. Yeah.
And it just was like, why not? We'll do this for 6 hours.
Yeah.
So it's cool. And, for people that are coming in from out of state into Nashville, I mean, that's what makes Nashville, right? Just somebody up there with a guitar playing their song they wrote, and they don't, it's cool to hear new music.
Yeah, that's sick, man. That's sick. You just recorded this new song. Mm-hmm. When's it coming out? What's the plan? Do we have any dates? Do we have any timelines? Do we have any, projections here?
Yeah, I wanted to release this first one in May, and then we're doing another one in May, which will be released in June. And my hope is, starting in May there's a song every month.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. How many you got in the tank then?
There's a lot in the tank.
Yeah, nice.
I think there's like probably 30 demos, I'd say.
Dang.
And I'm trying to a lot of them need fully finished, but
great,
but again, like that balancing act between, owning a business and trying to put out a lot of music and stuff. This seemed to be the least path, or of resistance to me.
Sure.
So yeah, I think that like this is the route to go, and it feels at least not overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah, dude. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for this new chapter and to just see where this new music takes you, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it could be fruitful for you. And
yeah, I'm excited to keep working with you, and you crushed it on this song. So I think the listeners need to know that.
Yeah. Thanks, dude. I'm
Seth
stoked on
Beamer
it.
is not just a podcast host. He is an grade A producer.
Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
And yeah, like I think that this first song is really the one that's gonna have to define really the sound, who I am coming out of the gates. So it's an important one, and I think we've got a good one. So I'm stoked about that.
Hell yeah, man. Likewise.
Yeah.
Well, dude, Josh, thanks for being on the pod today, man.
Thanks, Seth. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. It was awesome.